Sister Laila live. Ask Sister Laila live. Weekly for the show at the hour. Ask Sister Laila live. Ask Sister Laila invite your friends and family. Make it cozy. Ask Sister Laila.
Colin. And by the way, what are you getting up here today? Let's talk about it. Any other questions?
This is gonna be good.
Welcome to Ask Sister Laila Live. And by the way, what are you getting up here today? Let's talk about it.
Wait a minute. Time for the Ask Sister Laila live show. Lines are now open. 862-370-2838.
Okay, inshallah, everybody can hear me. Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulallah. I want to welcome everybody to the Ask Sister Laila live show. And this is where you can join and get your questions about Islam answered, inshallah. If you have any questions about Islam, you can simply just type them there on the screen, and inshallah, I'll try to answer your questions. And if there is a question that I cannot answer, I can call Sheikh Morsi, who inshallah is on standby to take my call, so he can help you with any questions you may have. And also we have Dr. Ibrahim Jamali, who's always listening in, that can always was always willing to answer and help with any questions that I can't handle. So, and there's different ways you can get your question answered. You can simply type it on the screen. If you are on Facebook, if you are on YouTube, if you are on Instagram or Twitch, just simply type your question, and also X, type your question, and inshallah, I'll answer it. I can see it. If you are on Rumble or Odyssey, unfortunately, I cannot see the questions on Odyssey or Rumble. So you're going to have to join either YouTube or Facebook. And again, the channel is Sunnahfollowers. Just type the name Sunnahfollowers, one word, Sunnahfollowers, all one word, and then my channel will pop up. Or you can type my name, Laila Nasheeba, and the channel will pop up, and you can type your question there. Or if you would like to use the microphone, you can join our Zoom room. And the Zoom room is open, and you can access our Zoom room by simply going to www.sunnahfollowers.net. And you can join our Zoom room, or you can dial the call-in number. We have a WhatsApp call-in number, 862-370-2838. And we'll take your calls. We do have operators on standby. Or you can go to the Sunnahfollowers website, of course, at www.sunnahfollowers.net. And there's a chat thing. Let me put that here too, that you can click on, that will also send your question directly to us. So that's the address, www.sunnahfollowers.net. Okay, so any questions you guys have, you can type them. And I can see I have in my Zoom room a person here with a new name, Muhammad from Dubai. There's a person in my Zoom room named Muhammad from Dubai. Do you have a question that you would like to ask Muhammad from Dubai? And by the way, if you would like to get your questions asked, you can join our Zoom room and type it. Don't private message anyone. You can type it there on the screen, and Sister Fahmeh will read your question. Muhammad from Dubai, do you have a question? Go ahead. I'm always very cautious of new people that come into my Zoom room. I have to be as a female. Okay, anyone else? But for the rest of you, any questions you have, just put them there on the screen. And by the way, keep an eye on Muhammad from Dubai. Do I have moderators in there? Make sure y'all keep an eye on Muhammad from Dubai. Okay, because Layla ain't in the mood. Okay, so inshallah, you guys can type your questions on the screen now. And again, for the Zoom room, Sister Fame is there. Type it there for everyone to see, and she will read it out loud. And by the way, as we're waiting for the first questions to be typed, what did you guys think about the class or the lecture that Brother Youssef gave today? He's doing a series on the history of Palestine. What do you guys think about that? I mean, a lot of us Muslims today are not too educated about history, you know, not the history of our religion, the history of our countries and all of that. And I really like how this brother has done his research. He's given you guys the history of what happened over there. Okay. You know, he's
very informative, very good.
You liked it too. I like it. Can you remember when some of that stuff happened, Anissa?
Kind of. I mean, it's almost like history.
How many of you guys knew? Everybody likes to blame America for everything. How many of you knew that it was Britain that decided to go to the United Nations?
Yes.
And get and establish Israel as a state? Was that person from
I think so.
Okay, okay, well, I got the moderators in there. But how many of you guys do they like to blame everything on America when it wasn't America that did that? That was Britain. Britain was the one that presented the problem of trying to take the land from the Arabs over there and give it to the Jews who were persecuted. And then they bowed out. They said, oh, now that when they saw what they'd done and how unjust it was, they bowed out. We don't want nothing to do with it now.
Yeah.
And then that's when America jumps in.
Yeah. And the British kind of went all over, like to Hades, to the islands. That's why the people there can speak English. They speak the language of the English people.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were colonized by them.
Yeah. Y'all see that was all that World War I and stuff. You know, a lot of stuff. America's history is twisted, and so is Britain. You know, you guys would be surprised how England had its hands in a lot of the filth that's gone on in the world and still got their hands in it. But of course, America takes the blame, you know. Yeah. But it was interesting. And I hope you guys continue to join, because he's going to cover it all. He's going to talk about the PLO. He's going to talk about the Palestinian Liberation Army. And I like that question that you brothers asked. Is that the Hamas group? No, they're totally different. When Arafat was over there, it's totally different. The Hamas is a terrorist group. You know, I really like how that question was answered. And again, I hope you guys continue to come every Friday so Brother Youssef can break that history down to you. So it's really interesting, very interesting. All history is. So subhanallah. Yeah, do we have any questions in there yet, Sister Fame? No one has any questions. Y'all got rid of Muhammad. Yeah, I knew he was an idiot. Yeah, when he came in here. Okay, y'all banned him?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I figured it was. And was that the name he used last time too?
Yeah, he just be changing the last name, but it's always the same.
Okay, from now on, when he joins, just get him out of here. Ain't nobody got time for this idiot, you know, at least not me. Yeah, so I really like that class. And also, guys, just to let you all know, the series with Dr. McBride, he's almost done with his book too. His book is almost done. He's talking about the showing the controversies of the Bible, You know, I'm not really into that type of stuff, as you all know, but you know, it's good for the new Muslims. He's almost done with that book. That series will almost be completed. But Brother Yusef's is going to go on for a while. And what we're going to do with Brother Yusef is keep him here speaking about different political topics that we as a ummah need to be made aware of. It's something that needs to be discussed. Yes. Subhanallah. Yeah, Sister Goldie caught on to that too. Alhamdulillah. Okay, go ahead. Type your question. You got it? Yeah, I can see you on Twitch. Go ahead. It's about the prayer. That's cool. Believe it or not, most of the questions here are always about either about prayer or marriage. You guys are usually asking about prayer or you're asking about marriage. So go ahead with it. Type it. Oh, okay. This person's typing that they heard me say in class the other day that there's no adhan for the women. What does that mean? Oh, okay. One of the students here asked me about, and we talked about the virtues of the adhan in the last class I gave. And one of the students here asked me about the women. If a woman is praying, if she's making up or praying two prayers, she missed a prayer and wants to make another one, the one that's in, does she pray the one she missed first and then pray the one that's in? And she was asking, does she have to call the adhan or the iqamat between them? And my answer to her was no. Exactly. And that's based on the hadith. You know, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet says that there is no adhan nor iqamat for the woman, because calling the adhan and calling the iqamat entails beautifying our voices, and the woman's voice is not aura in and of itself. But what Allah commands the believing woman to do is, you know, to make sure that she doesn't soften or sweeten or beautify her voice when she's publicly, because this can lead to fitan. You know, it can cause men basically to be turned on, and men are turned on very easily to women. So a woman is supposed to speak loudly, okay, and speak in an intimidating way publicly. So a woman doesn't have to call the adhan or the iqamat. Just like when we're praying, we don't have to be loud in our prayers either. We're going to talk about that more in that series. Yeah, but that's what happened. Yeah, that's what you heard. And by the way, have you guys been looking outside at the sun? Because when I do that class on Monday, I'm going to throw in some pictures of the sun in different positions of the sky, and you know, have you guys guess what time it is. So I hope you guys have been doing your homework, looking out at the sky to see what prayer times are in. Yeah. Do you have? Let me know if you got any questions in there, Fame, or anybody. Is anybody there to read the questions?
Yeah, I can see them.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. They haven't sent you any yet? Okay, good. Okay. All right. Okay, well, go ahead. You don't have to ask me. Just type it, sister. She's asking me, can I ask another question? Just type it. Yes, go ahead. Okay. Okay, she's saying, I'm sorry, I just started following you. And I am just now, I'm reading what she's typing. She's typing slow. I'm just now practicing. Okay. She said she's just now practicing the religion. So you're not a new Shahada. She's not a new Shahada. She's just a Muslim that hadn't practiced before. And that's a lot of the people today. And she said that she was listening to me before. Okay, Brother Mohammed. Oh, subhanallah, guys, look at this. This is the first time. What happened? I'm able to see what you're typing. Can y'all see this? This is, mashallah, this is, what is this? This is Rumble. So now I can see you on Rumble. Mashallah. Can y'all see him? For those of you on Facebook and YouTube, can y'all see what he typed?
Yeah, we can see that.
Without me showing it, I mean, I'm going to take this off. Can y'all see what he typed there on the screen? I mean, inside the chat box? Yeah, because Rumble sent me a letter saying that I would be able to see them soon, that they were fixing it where I could see the chat. Okay, if you have a question, you can type it too. I'm glad I can finally see the people on Rumble because I have a lot of followers on Rumble now. Okay, well, the sister here said that she's new to practicing the religion, and she heard another lecture where I said about the menses, the discharge. Oh, okay. What she's asking is about the discharge. If a girl or a woman has a discharge, okay, what do you do? This is a good question, and you should never be ashamed, okay, to ask. She's typed here that she's glad to have a female that she can ask that to. She's always wanted to know, what do we do when we discharge? Does that ruin us praying? Do we have to take a ghusl? No. You know, the Prophet was clear on that too. And it's the same for a woman just as it is for a man. If you have a discharge, you simply, wash yourself. You don't have to take a ghusl. Just, clean it off and then make wudu. Okay? Just clean it off and make wudu. You don't have to take a ghusl. And that's normal. What goes up must come down. So that's normal. Everyone discharges. That's part of the women's body cleansing itself. Yes. So that's going to happen. You just wash yourself and then just make wudu. But do you have to take a complete ghusl or anything like that? No. Yeah, so that's a good question. Yes, and just type whatever it is you want to type. Don't be ashamed. I'm not ashamed to answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question on YouTube. Brother Ahmed, he wants to know, do we have to go inside when Maghrib prayer comes in?
Okay, and I'm sure Brother Ahmed is asking this from the lecture that Sheikh Saud gave yesterday. And this is a good question. Sheikh Saud was speaking about how the virtues of Surat al-Falaq. Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq. Okay? And he was talking about how that surah is a good protection against, the night. What happens, the things that come out at night. And he was saying how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to recite that surah every day at night to protect against the things that we can't see and during the night, the animals, the jinn, the bad people, and all of that. And also there's another hadith and this is the source of this hadith is Sahih Bukhari. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when Maghrib comes, bring your children inside the house, close the doors and close the windows, and put tops over the food, cover your food, because the shayateen, the devils, cannot open doors. The devils cannot open a window. And this is when the Ifrit, who are the Ifrit? These are the most dangerous of the jinn. The most dangerous of the jinn come out every day at sunset. So that's why the Prophet said, bring your children in, and then after the sun has set, you can let them out then. You don't have to keep them in all night or anything like that. You can open your doors back up, open your windows back up after the sun has set. When the red, like I'm teaching y'all how Isha, At the time of Isha, you can open your doors back up. And Isha means nighttime. When all the red has disappeared from the sky, that's when it's Isha. And then you can send your children out and open your doors and stuff. But do you have to do it? No, this is a sunan. This is a sunan. This is something that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam suggested. Okay, it's a sunan. Am I going to go to hell if I don't bring my kids in the house? No, it's a sunan. It's a way of protecting ourselves. Okay, and Allah knows best. I hope God made that clear. Yeah.
The next question is, can Muslims play drums, and is it an instrument?
Okay, yeah, this is based on another question that we had. Allah is very clear. Allah is very clear in the Quran, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is very clear in the authentic hadiths. Allah says in the Quran that musical instruments are the handiwork of Shaitan. Shaitan uses musical instruments to take you away from remembering Allah. Shaitan uses musical instruments to take you away from that which is good, you know, because Shaitan, our personal jinn, knows the effect. He or she knows the effect that music has on us. So all musical instruments, Shaitan can use all musical instruments. The Prophet didn't say all, he didn't say except anything. He said all musical instruments the Shaitan can use to take us away from Allah. And that includes a drum. How many of you hear the drums beat? I'm sitting here right now. If I'm sitting here teaching you guys and say I open the door to my apartment and my neighbors got the drums going boom, 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 what am I going to do? Subconsciously, I'll start moving to the beat. That's how, so they all impact us. And that's why the Prophet said, stay away from musical instruments. What the women used to beat in the time of the Prophet, and they only did it at weddings, at the Eid, and when someone important came into town, the women would use, it's like a tambourine. It's like similar to a tambourine. The women would sing and hit that tambourine, not the men, the women, but they only did it at weddings, Eids, and if somebody special came into town. And what's the source? Sahih Muslim. So you want to stay away from all musical instruments, Brother Ahmed, because Allah tells us your personal jinn, he can cause you to get so caught up in that musical instrument that you forget about your prayers, you forget about coming to class and all that type of stuff. And Allah knows best. So find something else to do rather than instruments. You don't need any of them. Yeah, and Allah knows best.
The next question is, my wife said that she learned from your lectures that it is forbidden for us Muslims to eat from gold and silver. So she has the whole family eating from plastic utensils. I would like to know what the evidence to this is.
Okay, first of all, the evidence is this: gold and silver. Do you guys know what gold and silver is? What's the source? The source is Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and also the Quran. Allah says that gold and silver will be the utensils of paradise in the Quran. There's many hadiths, but what we Muslims today don't understand, just because something is called silverware, that's not silver. Silver is a metal that's very expensive. Stainless steel is not silver. I don't think any of you are eating out of gold spoons and gold cups, because do y'all know how much a real gold cup costs? You paying hundreds of dollars. Do y'all know how much gold silverware would cost? Close to 1,000. Do y'all know how much real silver costs? What you guys are eating out of is what I eat out of. It's called stainless steel. And there's nothing in Islam that says we cannot use stainless steel. So tell your wife to go to Walmart and buy some spoons and forks. Tell your wife that silver and gold is not sold at Walmart. Silver and gold. You go to a gold dealer, a silver dealer. So we Muslims have to stop being so fanatical. Tell your wife to go buy some silverware for your children to eat out of. We're not dogs and cats. Okay? And as far as what's the source, I'm going to give you the source, the Quran and the Hadith. Exactly. Rich people eat that way. All right? And Allah knows best.
The next question is, do you know where in the Quran when Allah says the non-Muslims will never accept you?
Yeah, what about it? Okay, for those of you wanting to look up verses of the Quran, all you got to do is go on Google and type, the non-Muslims will never accept you. And you will see about 6 or 7 verses pop up. It's in the Quran a lot, about 6 or 7 verses. I taught you guys those verses in the 6 o'clock class. Okay, so if you want to know where you can find it, just do a Google search. Type the word, the non-Muslims will never accept you, and you will see the verses. I have not memorized the Quran by heart. I memorized the Hadiths by heart. I am not a Hafiz of the Quran. My specialty is Hadith. Okay, but you can use Google. You can use Google and find whatever verse of the Quran you want. It's real easy. And Allah knows best. Yeah. Yeah, the religion is simple, guys. Y'all got to, before you guys do silly things like throw away your dishes and stuff, you better learn what gold and silver is. Real gold, real silver. We ain't talking about stainless steel, which is what most of us use. You know how much a gold fork costs? Are you crazy? All right. Yes, that's the same for drinking too. We cannot eat or drink out of real gold or real silver. Why? Because Allah says these will be the utensils that we eat and drink from a paradise, even though the gold in this world and the silver in this world is nothing like the gold and silver in the hereafter. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, explained in one of his fatwas. He said, eating and drinking out of gold and silver is a sign of arrogance. It's what the king of Persia does. It's what the Roman Caesar does. The rich kings, they would eat and drink only from gold. They would eat and drink only from silver. And this is arrogance because it represented being better than anyone else. So that's why Allah has forbidden us Muslims from eating and drinking out of real gold or real silver, because we're supposed to be the opposite. As Ibn Abbas said, we're supposed to be the opposite of the Kafirs. We're supposed to be the opposite of Shaitan. Shaitan is arrogant. The Kafirs are arrogant. We're supposed to be humble. And again, our personal jinn, You sitting there drinking out of gold and eating out of gold, your jinn is going to push you and tempt you to become arrogant, to think you better than others. So that's why we don't eat and drink from gold, even though they're not the same as the gold and silver in the hereafter. It keeps us humble. Now, Allah knows best. Y'all understand that? That's an example of Mekhosidic, the higher understanding of the Quran, based on how the companions understood those verses. And that's how Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, and also Ibn Umar too. Both of them, and even Aisha, all three of them gave us the meaning of those verses as to why we don't eat and drink out of gold and silver. It makes sense. That's what the kings do. And Allah knows best. Any other questions on there? If you get food from the masjid, can you sell it? There's nothing in Islam that says you can't sell food. And so we cannot make conditions. As Muslims, we cannot impose conditions into this religion that Allah has not imposed. So there's nothing wrong with that. If you get food from the mosque, if you want to sell it, you can sell it. Just don't sell it in the mosque. Okay, and Allah knows best. Yeah. What was that, Fahmy? Is that somebody trying to talk?
It was Sister Habiba.
Oh, okay. Any other questions? Go ahead. Yeah, I can see you still. Go ahead, type it. Okay, this sister here is saying, I was told, I have always been told that as a Muslim woman, I cannot wear. Wait for her to finish her typing. I was told as a Muslim woman that I cannot wear certain fabrics and certain contours. You must mean colors, and certain colors, not contours. I'm assuming you mean colors. Is this true? Okay, whenever people tell us, guys, this is the beauty of Islam. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the lawful and the unlawful have been clearly defined by Allah. What does that mean? That means if something is haram or unlawful for us to do, there would be a clear verse that says it. So if it were haram for women to wear certain fabrics, there would be a verse from the Quran saying, thou shalt not wear certain fabrics. Or there would be an authentic hadith from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the women of my nation cannot wear such and such fabrics. There's nothing, I repeat, there's nothing in Islam that forbids women from wearing any kind of fabrics. The Prophet Muhammad said the things that Allah does not mention are good and clean. They're all concessions. We as men and women have to learn to accept the concessions of Allah. The Prophet's wives wore silk. The female companions wore brocade. Just like we have the hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the men of this nation cannot wear silk. The men of this nation cannot wear satin. The men of this nation cannot wear brocade. So the prohibitions are against men, not women. For you brothers, you cannot wear silk, you cannot wear satin, nor can you wear brocade. What's the source? Bukhari and Muslim. But there is nothing in Islam that forbids women from wearing any colors nor fabrics. You can wear whatever fabric you want. You can wear whatever color you want as a Muslim woman. And if a person tells you otherwise, you should tell them, can they give you the evidence? And the evidence is not a fatwa from Imam so-and-so. The evidence is not a fatwa from Islam Q&A. The evidence is not Mufti Sheikh. The evidence is either the Quran or the Hadith. And Allah knows best. And like I told you guys, the Prophet's wives, they never wore black. What's the source? Sahih Bukhari, Atiyah, may Allah be pleased with her. She said, we women never wore any dark colors. I repeat, we never wore dark colors. I repeat, we never, ever, ever wore dark colors unless someone had died. Then we would put on our darkest clothing. We would remove our makeup and we would remove our jewelry until the grieving period ended. You have to remember the Arabic women lived in the desert, the hottest place on earth. You think they walked around in black? They didn't have air conditionings. Do you know what would happen to you if you put on dark colors in the desert? You getting ready to fry. If you crack an egg, it will fry in 3 minutes. What would you do if you sitting there dressed in black? Black attracts the sun. It attracts the heat. Arabic women did not wear black or dark colors in the time of the Prophet unless they were mourning, and they would stay in their home to mourn. Oh yeah, they did that too. They would put on dark colors, remove all their makeup, their jewelry, and they would stay in their home except to go answer the call of nature until the grieving period was over. That's how people knew that they were in mourning. So I don't know. These are man-made rules. This is not Islam. Islam is beautiful and easy. And by the way, you guys go to a museum, you know, the Arabic women wore silks and linen. They wore silks and linen because they wore a material, fabric that was breathable in the desert. This is the desert. They had to be, it was like this abaya I have on today. This is linen. This is the type of fabric the Prophet's wives wore because it's breathable. It's linen. Linen is so breathable and cool. If they had money and could afford it, they preferred silk because silk is really lightweight and breathable. So none of this stuff that you sisters have been told, you know, by these men, I don't know where they get this crap from. It sure ain't from the Hadith. And it sure is not from their countries either, because Arabic women to this day wear linen. This is from Dubai. They wear linen and silk still. SubhanAllah. It's breathable. Yes, and Allah knows best. Okay. Okay, there's another question. Let me put this one. I can read this one. Brother Ahmed said, what does it mean when Allah says you were made from the clay, the kind of pottery? In other words, you come from dirt. Clay, it comes from dirt. How do we make clay? We make clay by digging up some dirt and mixing it with water. That's clay. So Allah lets us know that we were created from dirt. Dirt. How did Allah create Adam? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when Allah decided to create Adam, he had the angels go and gather the dirt from the earth. Jibril went first, but the earth wouldn't give up its dirt to him. So then Allah sent Michael. The earth wouldn't give up its dirt to him either. So then Allah sent the angel of death. And the angel of death is the most scariest of all the angels. And when the dirt refused to give it up, the angel said, give it up. So the earth got scared and let the angel of death take it. And when he gathered the dirt, he gathered it from all over the earth. He came back to Allah with red dirt, with yellow dirt, with white dirt, with brown dirt, with black dirt. And Allah took all that dirt, mixed it together, and created Adam from it. And that's why all of the offspring of Adam, we come in all different colors. Some of us are pale, some of us are black, some of us are brown, red, yellow, because of the earth that the angel of death collected. And who's that from? Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him. So dirt, that's just dirt. And Allah mixed the dirt with water. Yeah. All right. Okay, you understand, Brother Ahmed? So that's how Allah created Adam, from dirt. And Allah says we will go back to it too. Not only did we begin with dirt, but Allah said we will return back to it too. All right, and Allah knows best. Okay, this person here is asking, what is Salafi? First of all, it's just a word. It's not a noun. Salafi is an Arabic word that is not a noun. It's a way of saying that you are practicing Islam, following the example of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the understanding of the companions. Salafi is not a noun. It's an action word. Everybody claims to be Salafi, but just because they say they Salafi doesn't mean they are. As you guys know, most Muslims today are innovators. Most Muslims today follow madhabs. They don't follow the understanding of the companions. When you listen to a lot of these brothers answer questions about Islam, instead of them telling you like I'm doing what Ibn Abbas said, what Ibn Abbas's understanding is, they're giving you one of the four Imams, or they're giving you Ibn Taymiyyah, or they're giving you Sheikh Albani, or they're telling you Laila Nasheeba. May Allah bless all those men. Ameen. They were all good brothers, good scholars. Okay. But my point is, if you are truly Salafi, you would be practicing this religion, following the example of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and your understanding of your practice should be like those companions were. But how many Muslims are? Even the ones that call themselves Salafi. They belong to madhabs. Imam, Sheikh, Imam, my Sheikh, Mufti. That's not Salafi. That's something else. So it's a verb. Every Muslim is supposed to be Salafi. All of us are supposed to be practicing this religion. As the Prophet said in the traditional Islam, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, stick to the traditional Islam. And a companion said, what's the traditional Islam? He said, traditional Islam is what I am upon, and what you are upon, and what the first four leaders after you will be upon. What's the source of that hadith? Sahih Bukhari. We're all supposed to be upon the traditional Islam, not progressive, not conservative, not compassionate, and all this other crap that they got now. But most of us are not. And Allah knows best. Okay, Brother Ahmed wants to know, did the jinn take Moses' ring? Okay, first of all, Moses didn't have a ring. I think what you're referring to is one of the greater signs of the last hour. One of the greater signs of the last hour is the beast. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the beast will come out of the ground and he will shake his head, shake the dust off of his head, and he will have with him two things: the ring of Solomon and the staff of Moses. Okay? So Moses didn't have a ring. Moses had a staff. The ring of Solomon is what Allah gave to Solomon, alayhi salam, to control the jinn. That's the ring that Solomon used to control the jinn. Okay? And don't read the Bible, Brother Ahmed. The Bible does not exist. I want everyone listening to me to understand something. I know we have a brother here teaching the untruths of the book that the people have today called the Bible. The original Bible does not exist. Allah said he destroyed it. When Allah sent down the Quran, he destroyed the original, all the other books that came before it. Allah says, if you want to know what the Bible really said, read the Quran. And the Quran teaches us that Moses had a staff. The Quran teaches us that Solomon had a ring. So that's what the original Bible said too. The original Bible said the same thing. Solomon had a ring and Moses had a staff. The book that they use today that's written by homosexuals, by the way, King James was a homosexual. Shakespeare was too. Socrates too. The book that they call the Bible today is written by homosexuals. That's not the original Bible. Like Allah says, you want to know what was in the Bible? Read the Quran. And so the original Bible said the same thing. Moses had a staff. And Solomon, alayhi salam, had a ring. And Allah knows best.
Next question is, I have a childhood friend who is a very close friend to me and have always been there for me through thick and thin. She is a non-Muslim. Now that I'm a Muslim, are you saying that I'm supposed to cut all contacts with her since we cannot take non-Muslims as close friends?
I didn't say anything. I don't make the laws. I'm just a daya. It's just my job to teach you guys. Allah says in the Quran, in the interpretation of the meaning, we don't take them as intimate friends. Intimate friends. But we're always nice to them. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was nice to the non-Muslims. We're respectable towards them, but we can't get so close to them. You can't take her as a close friend to hang out with because her lifestyle is not like yours. She's gonna want to have sex. She probably has a boyfriend. She probably drinks. She might even smoke cigarettes. She might even smoke marijuana. That stuff contradicts us, our belief system. So we distance ourselves from that. So you can't hang out with her and go to the club because we don't go to clubs. She can't call you talking about what her boyfriend did to her because we don't support that. You have to let her know. Don't tell me what goes on with your boyfriend. Don't tell me about what you did at the club because that's not my lifestyle. I'll invite you over for dinner every now and then, and you give her dower because your behavior, that's dower. You can still have her over to your house for dinner every now and then and talk about your religion to her. But you can't get close to her and have sleepovers, go out partying together, because her lifestyle is not yours anymore. We all got people we were close with. When I worked before I retired, there were 3 people that I worked with for years that I was really close to on the job. But they knew I couldn't go out and party with them. We would go and have breakfast. I worked third shift. We would get off work sometimes, at least twice a month. We get off at 6 o'clock in the morning and we would go to Bob Evans, or we'd go to Cracker Barrel and have breakfast together. And that's it. Then we leave. But they knew not to invite me to any of their other gatherings because I don't look like them. I don't dress like them. I don't believe like them. They never talked about their boyfriends with me. They never smoke around me. They didn't drink. Okay. So that's what that means. We can't be close with them like that. Why? Because your lifestyle is not like hers no more. And I hope that makes sense. But you can still talk to her and all of that and try to give her dawah. Try to show her through your behavior, through your action, the beauty of Islam and how embracing this new way of life has made you a better person. And who knows, she might become Muslim too. Best friends usually do. They usually follow each other. And remember, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a person is upon the religion of his friend. Okay, that's why we have to be careful who we hang out with. And Allah knows best. But yeah, you can still talk to her and stuff. You just can't be close with her like that no more. And Allah knows best. Exactly. Like Sister Pamela said, when Muslim, you don't have much to talk about. You find out that you don't have much to talk about anymore because I don't drink. I don't get high. I don't go to strip clubs. I'm shocked. Women go to strip clubs. Did y'all know that? When I went to get my hair done today, they were talking about how they go to the strip clubs. I said, excuse me, I'm new at this. Women go to strip clubs? They say, yeah. I'm like, oh, too much for me. Yeah, you can't do those things no more.
The next question is, I have seen people in Mecca praying in the cave of the Prophet. Is this a form of innovation?
Yes, this is. You know what? A cave. This is, yeah, you're going to see a lot of innovation when you go to Mecca. There's a lot of innovation at Mecca, and it is the innovation everywhere. You know, we don't pray in caves. Caves is where the jinn live. Why would you want to pray in a cave? That's where the jinn hang out. Okay? And Allah knows best.
Can you explain the hadith of the camel hump? Many Muslims are saying we can't have our hair in the form of a hump or in a high ponytail.
This is just ignorance. There's no hadith on planet Earth. I repeat, there's no hadith on planet Earth. I repeat again, there's no hadith on planet Earth that says women cannot wear ponytails. There's no hadith on earth that says a woman can't put her hair in a ball. You can wear your hair however you want to. They know if we're going to say that something is haram, guys, it has to say a woman cannot wear a ponytail. A hadith about how women will walk around naked. It's not even talking about your hair. The hadith that they're referring to ain't even got nothing to do with hair. It's talking about women wearing see-through clothing. Women who have on clothes, but they're still naked. They put on all these see-through clothes like Cardi B. Look at Cardi B. Look at Beyonce. Look at all these Rihanna. Women who have on clothes, but they're still naked. That hadith doesn't mention anything about a ponytail. It doesn't mention anything about a woman's hair not being in a ball. So we have to stop reading into these hadiths. I don't have to go into it no further than that. In order to say something is haram, you have to bring the verse that says, and by the way, my hair is in a ponytail. Bring the verse that says, thou shalt not wear a ponytail, Laila. And Allah knows best. These are ignorant people who don't know the difference between see-through clothing or a camel's hump or a ponytail. That's how we are. We're just stupid nowadays. I hate to say it. The Prophet said we are a simple-minded people. We don't have the intelligence that the Christians and Jews have. We're simple-minded, and we really are. Allah knows best.
The next question is, can a woman freeze her eggs to have kids in the future if she's at an older age and she is not married yet?
Oh, in order to do that, yes, she can. Yes, she can, but she can't take them eggs out and impregnate herself until she's married. And it has to be with her husband's sperm. Does everybody understand that? Yes, you can do that, but you can't sell them. You can't give them away to anybody else, and you can't use them until you get married. Everybody understand that? And Allah knows best. Okay. Yeah, any other questions? Yeah, the religion is simple. Exactly. This is how Allah protected Islam. He protected the Quran, protected the Sunnah. Allah said, we can't read into it. You can't sit there and take Allah's words and twist them around. We can't sit there and make up stuff. I'm going to make it haram for women to wear ponytails. Unless there's a verse that says ponytail, you better sit down. Unless there's a clear nas that says put your hair in a bun. Don't you know the Prophet's wives used to wear their hair in buns? Maria, who was the Prophet Muhammad's right-hand possession. Aisha was said that she was never more jealous of anyone than she was Maria. She was more jealous of her than she was Zainab. She said Maria was beautiful. She was Egyptian, and her hair came all the way down. She said she had thick, long hair that came all the way down to her derriere, and her hair was really thick. Maria's hair was so thick, she'd have to wrap it up. Okay? So women have been wrapping their hair up in balls and ponytails since Allah made Eve. So if it's haram for a woman to wrap her hair up or to wear a ponytail, then there would be a hadith saying so. You wouldn't find the hadith talking about how Maria was so beautiful, whose hair was so long she had to wrap it up. The same with Layla. Who was Layla? Layla was the wife of Khalid bin Walid. They say she was one of the most beautiful women. She had beautiful legs. Oh, yeah. And they say her hair came all the way down to the ground. Layla's hair came all the way down to the ground. And she would wrap it up, have to wrap it and wrap it and wrap it up. So we can't sit around making up stuff about this religion. That's how Allah's protected it. But like the Prophet Muhammad said, until the people learn the hadiths, and that's the problem. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said one of the first things that will become abandoned is my sunnah, the hadiths. They'll be able to quote the Quran beautifully, to sing the Quran, but they won't understand a verse of it because they don't know the hadiths. They'll make things haram that Allah didn't make haram because they don't know the hadiths. If they knew the hadiths of how these women looked and how these women dressed, then they wouldn't sit around telling y'all stupid stuff like that. That's why it's important for you, all you women, to teach your daughters. They got to learn this religion and learn it from the proper sources. Otherwise, they'll grow up and men will water the deen down to them and make them think they can't even be beautiful because of the man's insecurity. Oh, yeah. It's life, human nature, and Allah knows best.
The next question is, are there any books that can help me understand the Quran better? The hadiths are too complicated for me to understand.
Again, there is no other book. Islam is only based on two sources, the Quran and the hadith. That's it. And you cannot teach yourself this deen. You got to find a teacher. How did I learn? Do y'all think I taught myself? No, I had teachers who were scholars of the hadith. I started learning when I was 6 years old. Oh, yeah, some of y'all are too old to learn. You know, the older we get, the more stupid we get. That's just how Allah made us. For some of us, it's too late. Should have started when we was young. Okay. The only two sources of this deen is the Quran and the hadith. So what I suggest the person is asking that question do is sit with the people of knowledge. Find a bona fide, qualified teacher to sit with and learn the hadiths from, because they are complicated. The hadiths are the history of Islam, and they're not in order. You have to have a person sit down and teach it to you the way the Prophet was taught the companions, and the way the companions taught the ones that came after them, and the ones that came after them, and so on and so on and so on. Understand? There's no book that you can buy that's going to give you an easy way to paradise. Seeking knowledge. Allah says in the Quran, seeking knowledge of this religion is an obligation. We have to learn our deen the correct way, and you got to work for it. It ain't easy. There's no book that's going to give you the answers. Find a teacher that's bona fide, qualified, and follow them around. Sit with them. Stay with them. Learn from them. And Allah knows best.
The next question is, if the menses is much lighter and shorter than usual, do we still go by how many days it's usually? Like for years, it's been 5 days. Then 1 month randomly, it's 2 days. Do I still wait the 5 days?
The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the woman's menses is not determined by the amount of days in which she bleeds. It's determined by the color of the blood. What's the source? Sahih Bukhari. The Prophet said, if it doesn't matter. A woman's menses, that's the deficiency that we have. The PMS, our menses, don't you women know that our periods change based on our emotions, based on what stressed, based on changes in life, sicknesses? That's the woman's body. And it doesn't stop. Even when you get old, even when your periods stop, you still have the PMS. It's called PMS. So the Prophet said the woman can bleed. Some women bleed 1 day. Some women bleed 5. Then you can turn around and bleed a whole month. Then you can bleed 20, depending on whatever trauma you're going through in your life. So the Prophet said it's the color of the blood. If you see pink or red or brown or yellow or black coming out of you, you're on your period and you do not pray. You do not fast until it's completely gone. You women understand that? So don't count the days. You look at the color until it's clear coming out of you, white. You don't pray. Okay, something's going on in your personal life. It could be stress. It could be the food you eat. The doctors will tell you certain food can affect your menses. Certain events can change your cycle. A new job, a bad dream. The kids got on your nerve. You're lonely. You're depressed. Somebody hurt your feelings. Somebody broke your heart. That's the nature of the woman. So until that color is clear, you don't pray. But I'm going to tell you this too. If you start bleeding and you're bleeding longer than 30 days, go to a doctor. Because like the prophet said, that can be a sign of something broke. In other words, it could be cancer. And those type of cancers, if you catch them early, they can be treated. So if your period starts and it's been 30 days, run to a doctor. Go to a gynecologist to make sure that you don't have fibroids or a cyst or cancer. And Allah knows best. Okay.
Next question is, I was told that I shouldn't work for CPS because they represent taking children away from their parents, and this is supporting evil. Is this true?
You know, this is another problem with us. Not only are we ignorant, about simple things, we're even more ignorant when we put our nose into politics. There's nothing in Islam that says you cannot work for CVS. And Allah knows best. And tell people to keep their personal opinions to themselves, because evil is everywhere. The world is evil. Because my neighbor is cooking pork, because my neighbor is outside barbecuing some pork, that means the pork is in the air. So does that mean I'm supposed to hold my breath and kill myself and suffocate because there's evil in the air? You get my point? Tell those, stay away from people like that. Those people are people that have a problem with the qadr of Allah. And Allah knows best. Allah doesn't hold me accountable or you accountable for what somebody else does. If your husband commits adultery, is Allah going to throw you in hell because you married to him? Get the point? And Allah knows best.
Next question is, what prayers do we do if menses is over? For example, if it's Maghrib right now and I just found I'm done, but Isha is in 5 minutes, do I pray only Isha because it takes longer than 5 minutes to?
No, you pray whatever prayer is in. If your period, if it's Isha now and you see that you're off your period, you pray Isha. If your period ends and it's Asr time, pray Asr. You pray whatever prayer is in. Because Allah does not hold us accountable for what we could not do. You couldn't pray Asr, so why would you go make it? You whatever prayer is in at that time, you pray it. So if your periods are ended during the time of Maghrib, you go ahead and take a ghusl and pray Maghrib. And then pray Isha. If it Isha's in. Say, for example, you only got a few minutes left of Maghrib, but you can't pray without a ghusl. So you go on ahead and take your ghusl and then pray Maghrib and then pray Isha. You understand? So you have to make whatever prayer was in when your menses ended. Does that make sense, Miss Jackson? Even if it's 5 minutes, go take your ghusl and clean yourself up and then make Maghrib and then make Isha. You understand? And that's a good question, because when I was a kid, my mother had to tell me that. She said, did you have to make Maghrib? I said, I don't have to make Maghrib because I didn't take a shower. She said, yes, you do. You take your shower, make Maghrib, and then make Isha. Yeah. And Allah knows best. Yeah. And by the way, guys, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sister Samat will be here to do her the names of Allah. Her class, the names of Allah. Sister Samat from Egypt. Yeah, Sister Samat from Egypt. She should be here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know I didn't put the schedule out today because I was busy, but I'll have the schedule for tomorrow out tonight, inshallah. Yeah, but you got her at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and she's supposed to be here. She sent me an email saying she'll be here. Her class is pretty interesting. Yeah, she doesn't teach it like I do, but it's good. I'm going to stream it to you guys. I think you guys are going to like her class. And her class is interactive. All of the teachers here at Sunnahfollowers, their classes, our classes are interactive. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I am too. I'm glad that the brother, and in fact, before we close out, let me try that. Let me join Rumble. I'm going to bring my other computer. I can't believe that they did that. They fixed it so I can see you guys. Hold on, guys. Let me go into Rumble. I can't believe that. Yeah, I want to see how it looks. I'm coming in. And I was able to see you. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What's this? Enjoy something. Oh, I got to sign in. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm coming in on Rumble. Oh. Wait, it wants me to do this? What's this birthday? They got you putting your birthday now? Wait a minute, hold on. My birthday. Oh, wait a minute. It won't let me come in, bro. Oh, wait a minute. You know, I don't use that. Let me hold on. I'm trying. I guess it's my birthday. Wait a minute, hold on. 7-6. Oh, I ain't giving y'all my birthday. Hold on. Okay, then you click on this. Okay. Oh, God. What is my username? Why do I have to log in? No, I got a different name. Go ahead. If any other questions, y'all can ask them why I'm doing this. I want to see this. I'm going to have to use the other computer. Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm getting ready to put this thing up. I got to see how this, I won't be able to do that. Wait a minute. Let me bring this computer in on this. Wait a minute, and I'll use it that way. Hold on. Oh, what's this? That is really cool that I could see that because I got some followers. Kind of excited. Okay, I'm in here. I'm in the streaming. Any other questions in there, family, while I'm trying to get in here?
No, I think you're good.
Wait a minute. Okay, guys. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Hold on. Wait a minute. Where's the Zoom at? Is my other account on Zoom? I'm trying, brother. Give me a second. The brother's texting me. Okay, I want to see this. I'm coming. Okay, this is what I'm going to do so I can see what he said. Oh, the Rumble looks like. I'll do this. I'm logged in, right? Okay. Oh, y'all, I'm scared. I think I'm gonna mess it up. I'm so scared I'm gonna mess it up. Every time Brother Zahir comes around, see, he always got me doing stuff. What happened? Can y'all see? Okay. Y'all watch that for a second. Let me try this. Rumble. Okay, let me come in Rumble on this computer. Wow. Okay, I see it. I'm in here, brother. What do I do? Oh. Hold on, guys. I don't see the live. Y'all see me on Rumble when I come out? Oh, I see something. Is this me?
You have a question on YouTube?
Oh, I see it. Wait a minute. Salam. Can y'all see me typing? Y'all see this? Sunnahfollowers name? I see something here. Oh. Can y'all see that? I did. Okay, let me switch back. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead with your question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The question is, why does the Imam always say some scholars say, but they don't give what the Prophet said in the masjid?
I don't know. You have to ask them. That's why you got to find a good Imam. That's why I tell you, look for a good Imam. Okay? You know, Islam is supposed to be based on two sources, the Quran and the Sunnah, not scholars. Maybe you belong to a madhab. Maybe the mosque that you're in is a madhab. I don't know. There's a lot of madhabs here in America. They follow the Hanafi madhab or the Maliki madhab or whatever. But Imam that's upon the Quran and Sunnah, he would tell you what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. And that's one of the signs of the last hour. You know, the Sunnah will disappear. The Sunnah will become forgotten. The Sunnah will become abandoned. And we see that. People are following their imams and following their sheikh, you know, instead of following what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. It's one of the signs of the last hour. Just look for a mosque, and it's hard to find them nowadays, but just try to find an imam, a community that bases everything on the Quran and the Sunnah and not on a madhab. And Allah knows best. Are there any other questions? Okay, well, mashallah, this was a good Q&A. I'm going to log in on that Zoom after this, on Rumble to check that out. I see what... Huh? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is there a difference? Because I've heard this when the Quran was being recited on my phone. I heard this word pronounced two different ways, and I wanted to know which one was correct or if one was incorrect. Sometimes I would hear the reciter saying Rasulullah, and then sometimes I would hear a different reciter saying Rasulu.
No, it's the same. It's just where one is plural, and it's just the grammar of the Arabic, depending on how they're using that word.
Like in tahajjud?
What's tahajjud? Tahajjud is the last third of the night. I don't use those adhan callers. I keep telling you, I don't use those adhan callers because they're made by Shiites. I've always told y'all that, and they never. Okay, but no, you can say it depends on how you're using. Rasul refers to the prophet. In English, I would say the Prophet Muhammad. But just like English has its grammar, so does Arabic. So I don't know what dua you're hearing, but yes, it could be.
When they're saying Attahiyatu lillahi wa salawatu wa ibad.
Yeah, they're doing it right. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, they're saying it correctly.
Okay, because I I've heard it said that way, and I heard it said another way.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways, but yeah, we're going to cover all that in our class too, guys. When of the Adhan, in fact, that's going to be Monday's class. But yeah, they're correct. You know, that word is used depending on how you're using it in a sentence. It's grammar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
just
because
grammar.
I heard two different imams saying it.
He's probably they probably both correct. They're probably saying something. You got to know. I don't know what they're saying, you know, but they're probably using it correct. Yeah, it's just grammar.
Okay.
Brother Ahmed, I don't know. You can Google all that stuff. When you're trying to find something in the Quran, Google it. Just go on Google and type the beast, Quran, the beast, and it'll pop up. Okay, just Google that. Nowadays, it's easy to find anything. Y'all just got to stop being lazy. Go on Google and type Quran, the beast, and see what pops up. And by the way, Allah doesn't go into detail about the beast in the Quran, Brother Ahmed. You have to look at the hadith. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that Allah does not even mention in the Quran that you will find in the authentic hadiths. So if you're looking for details about the beast, you ain't going to find it in the Quran. The only way you're going to find it is through the hadiths. Okay, just like making wudu. Okay, you're not going to find rinsing your mouth and rinsing your nose in the Quran. You're not going to find how to perform the Hajj in the Quran either. You have to look at the hadiths for all of that. Yeah. Just like not eating animals that have fangs. You're not going to find that in the Quran either. You're going to find it in the hadith. There's a lot of things that Allah doesn't mention in the Quran, but they're mentioned in the authentic hadith. Okay, so if you're looking for details about the beast, you ain't gonna find it unless you use the hadith. That's why anybody that tells you that they don't believe in the hadiths are kafir. They are not Muslim. Because how can you're saying basically you don't believe in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Okay. All right. Any other questions before we close out? And by the way, the Tayatullahi, okay, she's talking about the Sabrine, you're talking about the Tashahud. I mean, not the Tasha. Yeah. Remember, there's 3 different ways that you can say the Tashahud. So you probably heard somebody recite it a different way. And all those ways are correct.
Okay, because they were both teachers, 2 different teachers teach.
It depends on what part of the world they come from. The Arabs in one part of the world said one way, another, and the Prophet taught all 3 ways. He taught all 3 ways. So it depends on what companion went to that part of the world, and they learned it from that companion. The way that we taught you is the most common.
Okay, it seemed like it was easier too.
It is to me. Now, the Somalis, like Isra, my student Isra and them, they learned it a different way, but their way is correct too. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys. Alhamdulillah. I want to thank everybody for joining. You all had some very good questions tonight. I'm going to try to put some shorts out tonight of the questions, and I'm going to also put some shorts out for Brother Youssef's class on the history of Palestine. Please make sure that everybody supports this dawah effort. This is still, the beginning of the month, basically, when we're going into the middle. We have $200 and something in our account, but we still got more bills that have to come out. Okay, so please, guys, don't donate to support this dawah effort. You can go to PayPal me/Sunnahfollowers and use a credit card. We prefer Zelle if you live in America, because Zelle doesn't take no money out and it goes directly into our account. Or you can use Cash App, but all the others take money out except for Zelle. Zelle is the best thing that the banks came up with, because you can take your money and put it in somebody's account in seconds and you don't have to pay nothing. Yeah. But please support us, because we need donations. And make sure you guys remember that tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Sister Samak's class. So please be here for it. Okay, I'm going to close out for tonight. Subhanakala huma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.